Let's do the sort of finish off the comedy season, the Landmark Sitcom season on BBC. The remakes that have been on since we were last on are Goodnight Sweetheart, which was a sort of continuation of the series, and Young Hyacinth, which was the prequel to Keeping Up Appearances. Gary, did you watch?
Yeah, I did watch that. I found it very strange though, because I think I missed. After I re-listened to the podcast, I missed it live where you said there's no laughter track, and it did feel more like a. It felt more like a drama than a comedy.
Early evening drama, I thought.
It did. Yeah. It didn't make me do anything. I didn't relate to her as Hyacinth, although I have to say there were moments where you could see they were definitely doing a nod. But I didn't like the running dialogue track. I didn't like the fact that she was constantly talking to you, the camera.
Well, no, Miranda talks to the camera. I think she was just talking to herself.
We wouldn't know that,
but
would
yeah.
No, I wouldn't know.
Actually,
the camera as well.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Fleabag.
But no,
that should be our new slogan.
It was gentle, but I didn't laugh at any point.
Goodnight, Sweetheart.
No, I didn't.
Yes, darling.
Hey!
One of these things just doesn't belong.
These, they had like porridge, Are You Being Served, and Young Hyacinth were announced like ages and ages in advance. You know, we saw like things of them, like press preview copies and things like that. And then suddenly there was this sort of reunion photo of Goodnight Sweetheart that surfaced, wasn't there? If you remember. And then it's like, oh yeah, we're doing a Goodnight Sweetheart as well. And it feels like it was, oh, we need one more to fill like this half an hour slot. Who's free? Oh, let's get Nicholas Lyndhurst in for a bit. Also, it feels a bit like Marks and Gran, who wrote it. They're trying to get them back on side after Birds of a Feather left to go to ITV because they didn't want it back on the BBC, and it's done really well for ITV. So this was Gary sort of rediscovering the portal back to the 1990s, or what was the 1990s now?
I wish I could find the portal back to 1990s, I tell you.
Oh, but so he is now firmly supplanted in 1962, but finds well, no, he doesn't find the portal, does he? He meets with himself. He sees the day of his birth.
That was very, very contrived and very. I don't know what's going on. Why is this happening?
And then he ends up in 2016, and there's a lot of sort of fish out of water stuff. A lot of sort of, because I think if you'd gone in 1999 and come back to 2016, there's not that.
It's
much.
Just the technology, isn't it? Really.
So where this came alive for me, I think, was in the last 5 minutes, where it was sort of the more poignant stuff. He found out that he had a daughter that he didn't know about in the present day. And
although she's a terrible actress, so it's...
And then we went back to the 60s and he'd learned Hello by Adele, who I think, after listening to him sing the lyrics, is a secret Goodnight Sweetheart fan. But what I would say is the poignancy, I don't think it sort of earned it, if you know what I mean, because what had happened with the fan wasn't that funny. No. You have to be funny in a comedy before you hit the sort of emotions.
This was a weird one to remake from the start, because it was one of those shows that was on for a long time, but nobody really...
It's like you mentioned, Luke, like 2.4 Children. It'd be like remaking something like that. Or
and why would you?
Like
yeah,
it's not a classic.
Remember Brushstrokes?
No, we're not a bit older.
No, but that's very similar. It's like, it wasn't all that funny, but it was just on a lot.
Or Waiting for God.
Yeah, something like that.
Ironically, they're both still alive. They can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the people in 2.4 Children.
Yeah, 2.4 Children. on.
Yeah. I mean, there were bits of it that were alright, but that's not very...
I did like the running gag where everywhere he went, they were just playing Hello by Adele.
Yeah.
That's probably the best gag.
I don't know how they got music clearance on that, because...
she's a big fan of Goodnight Sweetheart.
I guess she must be.